Let's be honest, if you're a teacher, power struggles between adults and students are a real thing. They happen, it doesn't matter who you are. Most of the time when we get in power struggles, we're just trying to set an expectation or a standard to try and get students to do the things that they're supposed to be doing to be successful in school. However, what we end up doing is setting a standard or an expectation that we can't follow through with or have a natural consequence for, and then the kid doesn't learn from it. I believe to my core that holding kids accountable and having restorative approaches to whatever it is that's going on is so necessary to teach kids right from wrong and the appropriate social skills to address different situations. We just have to learn how we can set that standard and keep control over the situation without engaging in a power struggle. And I'm going to show you an example. If I had a student who was coming in to do their work at this table and their work was at the table and they were sitting here, but they were scribbling on the table instead, they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, I would probably just gently remind them of what the expectation is. Hey honey, your work is here because you're supposed to be working on it in here and not scribbling on the table. It's time to start this. Chances are, if this is a kid that's going to engage in a power struggle, they're going to refuse the work and they're going to keep scribbling on the table. They're going to say, I don't have to, I don't want to, whatever it might be. I could then engage with the power struggle and say, yes, you do have to do your work. And they would say, no, I don't, you can't make me. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I reminded them of the expectation, and then I'm going to let them know what will happen since they aren't doing what is expected. You can keep coloring, but we won't be able to go back to class until we finish our work and clean up our mess. Once they show me that they can do both of those things, then we'll talk about why we can't scribble on property, because that could be vandalizing. Especially when they get older, they could get in a lot of trouble for that. It works because I set an expectation, I held them to a certain standard, and I let them know the why behind it.